Blessings and welcome everyone. Just a reminder before we begin. Your rising sign horoscope will give you additional clarity as to how a great deal of your sun sign horoscope may show up, and your moon sign horoscope will give you the less prominent side story that'll also be playing out for this 2-week period. Remember, horoscopes serve best when observed, like a weather or traffic report. You have influence over all outcomes with your thoughts, actions, choices, and deeds. Use the information that presents to help you make the highest choices for the highest outcomes. If you wish to schedule any of my services or like access to more content via my Patreon, follow the links below or go to my website, integrativemysticism.com. Hi there, Pisces. It's time to have a look and see what is going on when it comes to the week starting April 5th, 2021. And just a quick reminder, if you're a Patreon supporter, thank you, by the way. The weekly bonus astrology report is up, and you can find that by following the links down below, or it will be up anyway within the next half hour of this video getting published. I meant to get it uploaded last night, and for some reason it didn't get up, so just stay tuned for that half an hour. And also, don't forget, we are doing the weeklies a little extra now. We're doing double passes on everything, so same format, just extra cards. And so before we get on to the cards, I do want to talk about an astrological shift that happened very recently, less than 24 hours ago, with Mercury moving into Aries. So the planet of communications, haste, speed, and intelligence moving into your second house of earned income, employment, and anything that has to do with any kind of operations or organizations that you've got going on, where you are earning a living or securing a living for yourself in that way. Now, with Mercury in the second house, developments always turn in such a way where we are actually accumulating wealth very, very quickly. And we're actually accumulating wealth quickly in ways that seem small, but they really add up. And over the course of this next 2.5 to 3 weeks, you're going to be finding that. So it's important to pay attention with Mercury in the second house. Sometimes people can look at things that seem small and judge them as not being worth it. But that's how we're actually accumulating a vast amount of cash versus maybe actually focusing on just trying to get big ticket items, big shot style. In fact, with Mercury in the second house, a lot of opportunities for advancement, whether it's stepping into a new job or a transfer or a promotion, are also going to be more available and more broadcast throughout your workspaces. So you're going to be more consistently engaged with those opportunities. And you may even find that the implementation of a transition into a new job, a new role, whatever you're looking for, is actually going to be going a lot more quickly. It's like once you find something during this time, because remember, you have to participate in the readings, you actually have to do the work, you're going to find that the response, the very positive, affirming response, the yes, and the implementation of transition is all happening in a very small window. So a very, very cool turn of events for you Piscean people. Get that money, get that abundance, what you're looking for. And as we get on to your cards, well, for your spiritual themes, you have the Ace of Swords reversed and the Three of Wands reversed. And so with the Ace of Swords reversed, I am seeing this week, we are going to be finding that a lot of stories are going to need to start getting tightened up and handled better than they have been handled in the past, or even, in the present. Because the Ace of Swords reverse is talking about good opportunities that are not being given the love, given the care, or maybe the intention or the deliberation that they should. Now, whether this has to do with people misapplying their power, not necessarily, again, putting the right kind of work in or the right amount of work in, or with the Ace of Swords reversed, maybe actually tightening things up so that they become more functional, we're going to get opportunities to correct a lot of things that ultimately have just not been able to reach their fullest potential. Now, whether it's a personal project, a relationship, friendship, something going on with our health, the Ace of Swords reversed, we are correcting a lot of things that have been mishandled so that they are actually being given their best chance this week. Now, these could be things that are going on in your own life or things that you are inheriting or you are co-creating from with other people, maybe actually polishing things up, fixing things up other people have mistreated, or maybe again doing some personal work on changing things where you find out that you've actually got a really good golden ticket, but we've not been using it to fullest effectiveness until this week. As we get on to the Three of Wands reversed, there is also a need to pay attention to where not only is something, is a high potential possibly being missed, but where a lot of maybe other areas of our life might not necessarily be developing because of a lack of activity on the parts of all involved. With the Three of Wands reversed, we also have to look a little bit at things like neglect. And we say neglect, I'm talking about a lack of, again, mindful involvement, mindful engagement with things. Is there anything that has maybe been kind of left on the shelf for too long? Is there something collecting dust? Is there paperwork not getting processed? Are there lines of communication not being used? Are there maybe responses or inquiries that need to actually be given and made? The Three of Wands reversed is going to show you where there are certain things in your life that are stalling due to maybe some unfinished business. But the good news with the Three of Wands reversed is that that business is actually very, very small. Sometimes all we have to do is give something a go-ahead or give something a bit of engagement. Have we missed out on something? Did we not notice something in the email? That kind of thing. Once we get these processes going, there's nothing holding up the works anymore. So we're also fixing areas of our life that maybe have become stalled or paralyzed. As we get on to your material shifts when it comes to your work, your job, and your finances, well, you've got the Emperor card upright and the Page of Cups upright. So clearly Mercury is going to work right away, because with the Emperor card upright, I am seeing you being put in a position where you can actually make some very, very big strides very quickly when it comes to a rise in status, a rise in power, because somebody that you recognize or to be either just a highly capable power player or somebody with a lot of talent or a lot of influence is actually giving their power to you, sharing their power with you, or maybe using their power on your behalf to muscle a big win for you. Now, this could absolutely be securing you a better situation professionally, or possibly even throwing their weight around to make a big breakthrough financially. It all depends on, again, what's going on in your personal life stream. We also have with the Page of Cups upright, a lot of you becoming very popular when it comes to, sources of revenue, new sources of revenue, whether it's drawing in attention from clients and customers, a new customer base, a new client base, a new venue, or a new crowd to start engaging that is actually very stimulating for you, very rewarding for you. Again, a lot of you may be finding that this week is going to be presenting you with a lot of invitations, sometimes even invitations we didn't even know we might be a good fit for. So those of you that aren't even looking for new work or looking for transition opportunities when it comes to your job may still have them popping up anyway, because with the Page of Cups, a lot of nice as well as very easy and rewarding propositions are being put on the table. And there is a very, there's a bit of a personal touch going on here with this as well. So it is something that is being either recommended or offered or proposed to you because of who you are. It's not like some kind of random grab or mass, sort of appeal kind of thing. This is something that actually is set up for you and offered to you because of you. As we get on to your communications with friends, relatives, other people in your life, you've got the Five of Swords upright and the Emperor card reversed. So when it comes to, the guys, the girls, your platonic support system and family, this week is probably going to have its fair share of scuffles. With the Five of Swords, I'm actually seeing there could actually be a bit of a row with a friend or a relative that you find is actually either mistreating something that you have shared with them, or they are mistreating somebody else in your life, or something that they are doing is actually becoming a problem for somebody else that you care about. I actually see you intervening in a situation where you are actually kind of watching like a friend mistreat another friend or a family member mistreat another family member. And with the Five of Swords, I do feel like you are the one, you are one of the two walking away. You are one who is deciding to take the wounded party with you out of this other person's picture, in essence taking them under your wing, going and actually doing some protective work, as well as also maybe confronting, that person or that situation, whichever is actually guilty of doing the mistreatment themselves. We also have the Emperor card reversed. Something going on where we might actually have to confront a person that is in a way in our life, they represent an authority figure in our life, whether they are maybe an authority figure themselves, or they may actually be somebody that is in a high position in our social group, or again, a position of high influence in our family, something where they are showing that they're not cut out for the job. They're showing that they're not able to actually improve or maintain that stature or status. And with the Emperor card reversed, I feel like they are aware of it themselves. It's almost like they don't even want to be there. They don't really want to be governing this, whether it's for a club or, again, something going on even in a tighter circle. And with the Emperor card reversed, you may either inherit their control, or even if you just offer to take some of that responsibility, they might just give it away to you, because I don't think that they necessarily want it anymore. As we get on to your challenges this week, you do have the Four of Swords upright and the Nine of Wands upright. With the Four of Swords as a challenge, I'm actually seeing a lot of you Pisces people being called to enforce breaks in situations where too many people have become entangled, and it's creating more chaos, it's creating more stress and strife, kind of like that Five of Swords. With the Four of Swords, we may actually need to pay attention to where we may have accidentally allowed too many chaotic elements to mingle in such a way that it's actually suddenly turned something that could have been really good into something that's more and more of a headache, because not everyone is actually syncing up, and we got to kind of separate everyone. Okay, you go to your corner, you go to your corner, and we're going to figure this out. The Four of Swords is a command for peace and quiet. I do feel that could be a challenge, because you may be finding that, again, maybe it's not necessarily always an intentional fight or abusive situation like the Five of Swords. You might also just be dealing with people who are not cut out for the space that they are in, or the responsibility that's been hoisted upon them. And so your challenge is to kind of bring peace by also sorting everything, bringing everything to a stop so it can be resorted. As we get on to your Nine of Wands challenge, it's time to pay attention to things that you need to start actually establishing a better boundary with, a better fence with, a better field with. It doesn't mean necessarily going into hardcore defense mode, but with the Nine of Wands, there are things that you need to do a better job of protecting against what you might consider to be X factors, whether it is, again, the slip-ups of other people, or possibly even, negative or discordant activity or energy that comes from people that only bring that to the table at this point in their development. The Nine of Wands as a challenge is indicating here that there may be something that you are being way too inclusive with, that you need to actually run a tighter ship with. When it comes to love and romance, you have the Nine of Pentacles reversed and the Judgment card reversed. And with the Nine of Pentacles reversed, I'm seeing that a lot of you Piscean people may be finding out that Something could be going down a road this week with either a partner or somebody new that we just really don't want to go down with them. This was never actually something that you desired to do. This was never actually something that you had on your list or your own personal aspirations for this relationship and for yourself. And with the Nine of Pentacles reversed, it does not necessarily mean the end of the world, but we are going to have to, very much in that Four of Swords way, allow for space to exist so everyone can actually have, the life that they want. This may bring up a conversation with a partner or with, again, somebody that you're seeing or somebody new where it's like they got to understand that that's not for you and they'll be dealing with that solo, but that does not necessarily mean that this has to be bad on the relationship, right? All healthy relationships, consist of people who have their own lives and they know who they are and they know who they are outside the relationship and they have lives outside the relationship, which enrich the quality of the relationship. But it might be something that does need to somehow be, not necessarily stressed or stated out loud in this situation. Because with the Nine of Pentacles reversed, what can sometimes happen is there may be some kind of expectation that you go along for the ride or stay involved or get involved when you really have no business or obligation to stay involved in that way. As we get onto the Judgment card reversed, I do feel that there may also be some conversations that come up around something that needs to be quit. Now, whether it's something that we quit as a couple or something that we both agree, we both need to kind of drop so that we have the best opportunity possible for both of ourselves individually and as a pair, the Judgment card reverse is indicating something that it has kind of kept us in an unhappy place from our past needs to actually be jettisoned. It's not actually been brought to a head. The story has not been closed, and we have to close it this week. This could be something that, yes, involves other people, maybe friends, other couples, or another household, family, things like that. But with the Judgment card reversed, we are putting something to a close that needs to come to a close that we've probably avoided bringing to a head for a while. And for those of you who are currently single and available, I am seeing that there may be somebody else this week that also shows up in addition to that Nine of Pentacles reversed person, or it could be the same person, that you do realize that, in order to make something happen with them, you both would have to sort of quit something in order to make it work. And it may be really soon to make such a judgment call, especially with new people, right? You don't want to start rearranging your whole life after only knowing somebody for a month. That's insane. But this is something that may at least need to be kept in consideration because that's becoming apparent this week. So that is what I've got for you. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I appreciate it. And should you ever want to get a session with me, you got to go on ahead to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com.